Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you day 18 of the Artist Trading Card a Day 2020 challenge from Art Joy of Sharing art community on Facebook, as well as the Art Joy of Sharing live stream channel, which is where Peg and I live stream every Thursday at 10:30 Central, 8:30 Pacific. Today on the live stream show, we were talking about adding dimension to your ATCs, making them feel more dimensional or have texture or maybe different assemblage type stuff. And I have all these cards out that I was messing with. I added paste to some of them. I had some pressure embossing on some of them and some embossed paper, different stuff like that that you make texture out of. And then I decided to make my day 18 card. And the piece that I'm starting with, I actually worked on last week. It's got alcohol ink on some Duralar, which is a clear plastic, that I then attached to a gold metallic cardstock with some sparkle, some of the glitter deco, not deco art, but Mod Podge. And I'm putting a napkin over it, and I'm using some gloss medium because the background was very shiny and metallic and pretty. And I kind of knew this was going to happen, but it was still, I went into it blindly, even though I knew this was going to happen. Okay, so I'm collaging on a napkin, which adds some texture and it adds an image. And it's this cute vintage lady and cute napkin that someone sent me. And I put the napkin on, and then I realized, you know what, the background is dark and the napkin is translucent or transparent and you can't see it. So here's how you fix it. You take, the napkin usually has 4 images on it. It's got 4 panels, right? So I took the next panel and I painted on the back with some white gesso where the lady is, right? Painted her on the back with white gesso. So now the area that I want to show is not going to be transparent or translucent anymore because it's got white gesso. And it's on the back, so you're never going to see that. So then I went ahead and tore out the lady again from the napkin. And I put this one over the top of the other one. You can just kind of sort of see the one on there that was the mistake, but I'm just going to put this one right over the top and you'll never see it. So the edges, the torn edges are still going to blend right into the background because I didn't put any white gesso where I didn't want the napkin image to show. So just on the back of the lady, the back of her dress, her bodice, her arms and hands. So now she shows up on the background much better. So there's really 2 layers of napkin on there. You can't tell, but there is. So then I wanted to shade around the edges a little bit and touch up where I didn't make the napkin exactly right on top of the other one. It's kind of hard to see when you're putting the medium on there. So I'm just using, I start out using a acrylic pen from Arteza. This is gold color and the background had a lot of gold on it. And then I blended that out with a water tank brush, synthetic brush that has water in it. But then I decided on the other side I was going to use copper, and I don't have an acrylic copper pen. There are copper pens out there that are oil paint, and I do have one of those, but I don't like the smell of it. Plus, it doesn't blend very well like the acrylic. And so I had to get out some regular copper paint and apply that in a blended sort of way with my water tank brush. And that works fine. I just wish that there was a copper pen. Why isn't there a copper pen? I don't know why. Maybe there is in the new set of Arteza that has 40 acrylic colors and pens, but I only got the 20 set. So I didn't get copper. I know that. Sad, very sad. So now I have this chipboard laser cutout, and that's another way to add dimension to your card is to layer up some assemblage pieces. And so I decided that I wanted to put that on. It says vintage, and I wanted it to be black, I thought, so I sponged it with some black paint to make it black. I have these half pearls that have a flat back. Those are nice and dimensional. I thought I would add those. I was looking for different things. I had this really cute pair of scissors that I thought would be perfect, but they were too big. Most of the things that I was finding were just too big for an artist trading card. You got to have little tiny stuff. So then the illustrator in my brain came out. You know her. She fights with the painterly person. I've got the illustrator person and the painterly person who live inside my head, and very often the illustrator comes out, and she did today a couple times. She said, "This needs lines. It's got to have lines around it." So I got out a small tip micron pen that has a pigment ink in it in the micron pen, and I added fine illustration lines all over the napkin image. Um, yeah, it just had to be done, I guess. Just had to be done. That's how it is. And then that pen that you just saw is a fine tip water-based gold ink pen from Sharpie. I'd put that on her necklace and her bracelet. And the way she was standing, I got all my things on there. The way she was standing, she just really looked like she needed to have a martini glass. You know, a lot of these images will have a martini glass. I guess that's a vintage kind of thing that people used to have martinis with their dinner. And so I did end up drawing a martini glass on. I don't know exactly when it happened. I don't know if it was before I glued this stuff on or after. Putting the word vintage on, and it's black, but it's really not showing up very much, and I didn't like it, so I ended up changing it. This is a couple punches glued together with a gold cardstock to make a flower. I thought that was a good thing to put on to make it more dimensional and kind of balance. You know, I've got heavy glued on things at the bottom and nothing on the top. And then I did want to glue this one onto a black frame background, so I had trimmed it down before the show, just a quarter or eighth of an inch on either side to allow it to fit on a backer, so that you have like a little black frame around it. I do like that. Oh, here I think I'm drawing the martini glass. Yeah, like yeah, she needs to be holding a martini glass. That's just how it is. I added a little bit of white Posca pen to make things stand out a little bit just now and then later on as well. And I needed that flower to have something in the center of it, so I got another one of those little pearls out. This girl looks like she should be wearing pearls, you know, she just does. White pens for highlights. I thought that the color on the bodice needed to be amped up a little bit, so I got out my Neocolor 2 water-soluble crayons, and there was like a spot where it was kind of white or something, and it was bothering me. Then I also gave her a little bit more makeup. Her cheeks pinked up, her shoulders pinked up like she'd been out in the sun, and a little bit on her mouth. Just adding little fussy details like I do to finish up my card. You're actually getting 2 cards today for day 18 because I made 2 complete cards during the live stream. So yeah, this was the first one. Added some highlights to the bodice and to the top of the dress a little bit. She's got a cute skirt on that's like a floral pattern. Cute little vintage lady. So that was my first card. You can see some of the background still. A lot of it got covered up. It was a beautiful, beautiful background, but a lot of it got covered up, unfortunately. You can see the pixels from the napkin. And then I ended up changing the color of the word vintage to some gold and copper colors, and I added a little bit of copper paint to the flower too, which didn't end up being on the video. That was an after the fact. So then my next card, I was talking about pastes, and I have this glitter paste from Gina K Designs. I have it in 4 colors, and I had put it on some of the cards, and this is how I did it. I used a credit card that was cut up into a small thin piece, and I put it through a stencil. And this one's going to be really pretty if I ever get around to using that card, because it's got a lot of layers on it. It's been a lot of fun making that one, just adding layers on different days. But I decided instead to use the glitter paste and stenciled with that same Gina K Designs glitter paste, the orange one. And I have a magazine image here. It's a Latina lady. She looks like she's dressed up to either dance, traditional folk dance, or else she might be, because it kind of looks like she's wearing a vest, she might be maybe someone who plays in a mariachi band. I don't know where this image came from. It was in my stack or my box of little things that I trim out of magazines before I get rid of them. Like if I see something I like, I think she's so cute. She's probably like maybe, I don't know, maybe she's in her 40s or 50s. She's all dressed up. You can see her tattoo. You can see her costume. She's got flowers in her hair. She's just so, I just don't know why. Maybe it's the attitude that she's giving with her arms crossed and a little twinkle in her eye or something. I just think she's cute. So I used some Yoo-Hoo glue stick to glue her down to the card. And then I used some different colors of orange Pit Artist pins, which is a permanent type of pin that has India ink in it. I use that around the edge of her to make her blend into the background. When you're gluing something on, you really need to do this step. You really do. You need to add a shadow around the thing, or else add the same color that's in the background or slightly darker to make that appear as if it's part of the card. It's just a really important step. And I know a lot of people skip it. They just glue something on there or sticker something on there, and they don't do anything with the edges, and you can just tell it's just stuck on there. So take a little bit of extra time to add that shadow or blending edge. So I did that with oranges, different colors of orange, and then it just really looks like it's part of the background. Then I'm just doing pen work with my small tip micron with some white Posca pen with some black Posca pen, adding different highlights and lines and different things around, giving her pinker cheeks and redder lips with the brush pens, just all that type of stuff, darkening up her hair, darkening up her eyes to make them stand out a little bit more. Then for a little bit more dimension, I added this extra orange flower that's like a resin flower to her hair. She already has three flowers in her hair, but I thought it would be fun to add that orange one because it matched the color of the card. It makes it very dimensional. Then I also love to add sequins or stick-on gems. These are some of my favorite things. If you're going to make something dimensional, I mean, it's already dimensional by having the paste on there. It has a texture, a lot of glitter, but it just having more things that are bumpy seems better to me. So stick-on gems, and then some Stickles Diamond. That's one of my favorite products right there. I use that a lot. It's the diamond. It's like just has translucent iridescent glitter in it, glitter glue. And I put on a little word that says celebrate, because she looks like she's about ready to celebrate. She is about ready to party, that cute lady. So that's it for me for day 18 of the Artist Trading Card a Day. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment or question below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your notification bells. You can share this on Pinterest, share it on Facebook, share it with somebody that you think would enjoy it. All those things really help my channel, and I'm very grateful and blessed when you do that. So thank you for doing it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.